Hello and welcome to this new video. Friends, this today's video of UPSC lectures is going to be very special and important because in today's video we will talk about which wars the British fought during their expansion in India. We will see what was the situation of Bengal in the 18th century and why did the British set their sights on Bengal, who were the Nawabs and which Nawabs ruled Bengal at that time. In this video, we will see how the British East India Company tightened its grip of governance on Bengal after the Battle of Plassey and the Battle of Buxar. Okay? Apart from this, we will see what benefits the British government was getting from the flourishing of the British Company in India. Friends, we will also see how the British East India Company became a good political power after the Battle of Plassey and the Battle of Buxar. In this video, we will understand the dual form of administration also. We will see who bought it and what was its impact on Bengal at that time. And finally, in the end, we will also see why the British government wanted to save the British East India Company from bankruptcy. Why did the British government decide to revive this company again? We will see and understand all these topics one by one in detail in today's video, friends. Okay? Before this, friends, I have a small request for all of you. If you have not subscribed to this channel, then please subscribe this channel and press the bell icon, so that you can get our other UPSC videos like this first. Also share this video with as many people as possible, friends. Okay? So friends, let's start this historical background. First of all, let's talk about which major wars the British fought during their expansion in India. So look friends, the British fought many wars during their expansion in India, which were mainly wars with various Indian kingdoms to conquer the kingdoms of a local king and sometimes with the French and other European powers in trade competition. These wars become a means of transforming the trade objective of the British East India Company into political control. Okay? At this time, there was a lack of unity among the local rulers of India. The British knew how to take advantage of this. They used to provoke one king against another king as per their benefit or create division between them. They used to see which kings was in competition with which king. Then by making friendship with one particular king and supporting him by fighting a war, they used to conquer the empire of the other king. And after some time, they used to loot the king whom they had supported. In this way, they used to capture the areas of both the rulers and exploit the people there. They used to take huge taxes from them, make them work and also punish them. Okay? The British fought many wars in India from time to time, in which the first one is Carnatic War. Friends, the British fought 3 wars in Karnataka, India, in which the first Carnatic War lasted from 1746 to 1748. The second Carnatic War lasted from 1749 to 1754. And the third Carnatic War lasted from 1757 to 1763. After this, the British fought the Battle of Plassey in 1757 and the Battle of Buxar in 1764. After this, 4 Anglo-Mysore War took place, in which the first Anglo-Mysore War lasted from 1767 to 1769. The second Anglo-Mysore War lasted from 1780 to 1784. The third Anglo-Mysore War lasted from 1790 to 1792. And the fourth Anglo-Mysore War from 1798 to 1799 is also included in it. Okay? After this, 3 Anglo-Maratha War took place, which includes the first Anglo-Maratha War from 1775 to 1782, the second Anglo-Maratha War from 1803 to 1805, and the third Anglo-Maratha War from 1816 to 1819. After this, mainly 2 Anglo-Sikh War also took place, friends, in which the first Anglo-Sikh War lasted from 1845 to 1846 and the second Anglo-Sikh War lasted from 1848 to 1849. After this, the Indian War of Independence of 1857 took place. All these wars are included, friends. Okay? We will read about these wars in detail in history. Out of these wars of the British for their expansion in India, the Battle of Plassey and Buxar proved to be very important for them. After the Battle of Plassey in 1757, Fort William in Calcutta became their administrative center in Bengal. Madras, Bombay and Calcutta were converted into British presidencies and become the major centers of colonial rule. Okay? Now friends, let's talk about what was the condition of Bengal at this time, that is in the 18th century. And why did the British set their sight on Bengal? Who were the Nawabs and which Nawabs ruled Bengal at that time? Okay. Friends, at this time, that is in the 18th century, Bengal was the most prosperous state of India. It was a major center of trade and agriculture production. Especially it had an important role in the textile industry. Due to Hooghly and other ports, it was a very important area for foreign trade. At this time, the economy of Bengal was very strong and British traders were making huge profits from here. That is why the British set their eyes on Bengal. Okay. In the 18th century, Bengal, Bihar and Odisha were under the Mughal Empire, but their administration was independently in the hands of the Nawabs. This means that the administration in these areas was being ruled by the local Nawabs. Friends, at that time, the Nawab used to be the chief ruler of the state. This was a royal title which was given to Muslim nobles by the British government. Okay? In the 18th century, many Nawabs ruled Bengal one after the other. The first among them was Murshid Quli Khan, who was the first independent Nawab of Bengal from 1717 to 1727 AD. He made Murshidabad his capital. After him came Sujauddin Muhammad Khan, who ruled Bengal from 1727 to 1739 AD. Friends, Sujauddin Muhammad Khan was the son-in-law of Murshid Quli Khan. After this, the next Nawab of Bengal was Sarfaraz Khan, who ruled from 1739 to 1740 AD. It is said that he was a weak ruler who was removed by Alivardi Khan, and he himself became the Nawab of Bengal. Alivardi Khan was a powerful Nawab who remained the Nawab of Bengal from 1740 to 1756 AD. He fought many battles to save Bengal from the attacks of the Marathas. Next comes Sirajud-Dowla, the last independent Nawab of Bengal, who was defeated by the British in the Battle of Plassey in 1757. Sirajud-Dowla was the Nawab of Bengal from 1756 to 1757 AD. During the 18th century, Bihar and Odisha were under Bengal, and the Nawab of Bengal ruled over Bihar and Odisha. However, after the Battle of Plassey, the British gradually established their control over these areas along with Bengal. Okay? Now friends, let's talk about how the British East India Company tightened its grip of governance on Bengal after the Battle of Plassey and the Battle of Buxar. Okay? After the British won the Battle of Plassey in 1757 and the Battle of Buxar in 1764, the British East India Company tightened its grip of governance on Bengal. In order to keep this rule in its favor, the British government passed several acts one after the other from time to time, which became the steps in the development of the Indian Constitution, like Regulating Act of 1773, etc. Okay? The British laid the foundation of their rule in India by defeating Sirajud-Dowla, the then Nawab of Bengal, in the Battle of Plassey in 1757, and the British made Mir Jafar the Nawab of Bengal. Mir Jafar was the commander of Sirajud-Dowla. He was the Nawab of Bengal from 1757 to 1760 AD. But due to the increasing demand of the company, the financial condition of Mir Jafar deteriorated, because of which he was unable to fulfill the demand of the company. So the British made his son-in-law Mir Qasim the Nawab of Bengal in place of Mir Jafar, who remained the Nawab of Bengal from 1760 to 1763 AD. But later on, relations between Mir Qasim and British became tense, and the British declared war against Mir Qasim. After which, Mir Jafar was again made the Nawab of Bengal by the British, who again remained the Nawab of Bengal from 1763 to 1765 AD. Mir Qasim was expelled from Bengal and went to Nawab Sujauddin of Awadh and sought refuge from him. At this time, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II was already living as a refugee in Awadh. Now, Nawab Sujauddin of Awadh, Mir Qasim and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, all three together made an agreement against the British, which resulted in the Battle of Buxar in October 1764. Okay? In the Battle of Buxar of 1764, the British defeated the joint army of Mir Qasim, Nawab Sujauddin of Awadh and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Shah Alam II took refuge with the British after the Battle of Buxar. Mir Qasim fled towards Delhi and Nawab Sujauddin of Awadh also surrendered after resisting for a few days. Okay? After Mir Jafar, there were other Nawabs in Bengal such as Nizamuddin, Saifuddin, Mubarak-ud-Dawla, etc. Nizam-ud-Dawla was the Nawab of Bengal from 1765 to 1766 AD. Saif-ud-Dawla was the Nawab of Bengal from 1766 to 1770 AD. And the Mubarak-ud-Dawla was the Nawab of Bengal from 1770 to 1793 AD. Even after them, there were many other Nawabs in Bengal whose names were these. Friends, you can see their names here. Okay. Now friends, let's talk about what benefits the British government was getting from the growth of British companies in India. Okay. So look friends, the British government was also benefiting a lot from the flourishing of the British company in India, because the British government had not given them the monopoly of trading in India and the countries to the east of the Cape of Good Hope and the countries to the west of the Strait of Magellan, just like that. But in exchange for this monopoly, it was decided that the East India Company would pay 4 lakh British pounds every year to the British government. Okay? Cape of Good Hope is a rocky headland on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean on the Cape Peninsula of South Africa, friends. Headland is a type of peninsula. The raised part of the land in the ocean, which is surrounded by water on 3 sides, is called a headland. Okay? Now let's talk about how the British East India Company became a political power after the Battle of Plassey and Buxar, and what is the dual form of administration, who introduced it, and what was its impact on Bengal at that time. Okay? After the Battle of Plassey and Buxar, the British East India Company became a very strong political power, friends. After the Battle of Buxar in 1765, under the Allahabad Treaty, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II handed over the right of revenue collection to the British in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. This means that the company, which was till now limited to only commercial activities, acquired the right of revenue and civil justice in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha in 1765. Under this, the process of its becoming a regional power in India began. This gave the British the right to collect revenue from these provinces. This meant that now they could collect taxes, which gave them a lot of economic power in India, because now the British no longer had to depend on the Nawabs for administrative expenses. Now the British East India Company could collect taxes directly from farmers and landlords, which gave them huge profits. Okay? The rights of Diwani, that is revenue collection, went to the British, friends, whereas Nijamat, which we also call the right of law and order or administrative power, was still with the Nawabs here. That is, the right of justice and law and order, Nijamat, remained with the Nawab of Bengal. But this right remained only a nominal right with the Nawabs, because due to this, the Nawab remained only a puppet. The real power, that is revenue collection, was with the British, due to which the British increased their influence further by keeping indirect control over the judiciary. Because due to this system, the Nawab had to depend on the British to run the administration. How would the administration run without revenue? Without revenue, the Nawab of Bengal became powerless. This means that at this time, there were 2 rules running in Bengal. One was the right of justice and law and order, that is Nijamat, which was with the Nawabs, and on the other hand, Diwani, that is the right to collect revenue, which had gone to the British. Okay? This is called dual system or dual form of administration, friends. In 1765, when the British got Diwani but Nijamat remained with the Nawab, dual system of governance started in Bengal. The British used to collect revenue, but the responsibility of administration, that is justice and law and order, was with the Nawab. The Nawab had to depend on revenue to run the administration, which was now in the hands of the British. The British had no administrative accountability, yet they kept getting economic benefits. This led to administrative anarchy, because the Nawab did not have power and the British did not care about the public. Corruptions and atrocities increased because there was no fixed responsibility of the administration. The farmers were exploited and the economic condition of Bengal deteriorated. This dual form of administration, established by Robert Clive, the first British governor of Bengal presidency, was quite complicated and was generating many complaints. Dual system in Bengal was introduced by Robert Clive in 1765. Okay? Now friends, let's talk about why did the British government want to save the British East India Company from bankruptcy? Why did the British government think about reviving this company again? So friends, in the initial years till 1768, the East India Company fulfilled its agreement with the British government of paying 4 lakh British pounds annually. But after 1768, things started getting worse, because till now things were going well, friends. But a few years after getting the rights of Diwani, that is after 1768, the financial condition of the British East India Company had become so bad that the East India Company was going to be bankrupt, and the East India Company was looking quite incapable in paying the 4 lakh British pounds which was sent to the British government every year. It had almost stopped giving money to the British government. By this time, due to its mistakes, the East India Company had reached the verge of becoming a complete bankrupt, friends. Not only this, the East India Company had reached the point of taking a loan from the British government. Instead of sending 4 lakh British pounds annually to the British government, the East India Company itself started asking for money from the British government. In 1772, the company nearly became bankrupt and it asked for a loan of 1 million pounds, that is 10 lakh pounds from the British government. This was shocking for the British government because this was the same company which was sending huge profits to the Britain till now. At that time, the East India Company was a very important company for the Britain and the British government. The British government never wanted this company to go bankrupt because it strengthened Britain's economy a lot. The British government earned millions of pounds from India through this company. Also, after 1765, the company got the Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, from which the company also paid a large tax to the British government. The company's trade also led to the Industrial Revolution in Britain because the company strengthened Britain's industries by exporting cotton, tea, silk, spices and opium from India. Due to the company, textile mills and other industries developed rapidly in Britain. Thus, trade expanded rapidly in Britain. Along with this, political power also expanded because the company's rule over India strengthened the roots of the British Empire in Asia and Europe. The company helped the British government in wars with its resources, which helped the British become a major power in Asia. Apart from this, naval power also got a boost because due to increased trade with India and military power, the British Navy became the most powerful navy in the world. Due to all these benefits, the British government never wanted this company to go bankrupt. The British government thought that if this company gets closed, then all the benefits received from it would also stop. And that is why the British government decided to revive the sinking British East India Company and brought several acts one after the other to regulate and control it, which we will see and understand in the upcoming videos, friends. Okay? Till then, take care of yourself, keep studying, and if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, then please subscribe this channel and press the bell icon also so that you can get our other such videos of UPSC first. Okay? Also, share this video with as many people as possible, friends. Okay? Thank you very much for listening to me. We will meet again on some other new page of life. Till then, bye bye and take care. Thank you.